If you live in Des Plaines or you're planning on living in Des Plaines, there's a lot that you need to know about the schools.
And there's a lot to cover when you're discussing the schools in Des Plaines. First of all, let's go over the high schools. If you live in Des Plaines, there's possible 3 different high schools that you would go to. There's District 207, which covers the vast majority of Des Plaines, and a big part of it goes to Maine West. And then in the northeast corner of Des Plaines, you could also go to Maine East. And then if you are on the west side of Des Plaines, west of Mount Prospect Road, which is a whole different township, you can go to Elk Grove High School.
Which means, like one of our friends, if you live on the east side of Mount Prospect Road, you would go to Maine West. But if your best friend lives literally across the street on the west side of Mount Prospect Road, they're going to go to Elk Grove. Even though it is a much shorter travel distance probably to Maine West, Elk Grove will be your high school.
And they are big high schools, so good size. Most of them are, well, for football anyway, Class 7A and 8A. They each have at least 2,000 students in attendance every year.
Which makes most graduating classes 500 or above. So that is a lot of students. They offer a wide variety of curriculum and extracurricular activities. Many have orientations while you're in 8th grade to help you understand what options you have in high school, both athletically, theatrically, academically, all of those pieces. Both of our sons went to Maine West High School all 4 years, played sports all 4 years, and academically succeeded all 4 years.
And the academics at all 3 of those high schools are outstanding. You can actually say they're award-winning.
That's true. District 207 has always been an award-winning district, as well as District 214. Now, District 207, just to clarify a little bit, does have 3 high schools in it. 2 of them are open for Des Plaines students to attend. District 214 has a much larger collection of high schools, Elk Grove being one of them.
As we move down in age, let's talk about the middle schools, which would be 6th, 7th, and 8th grade.
Yes. There are 5 middle schools that residents of Des Plaines may have the opportunity for their children to attend.
Let's see, you have in District 62, you have Algonquin Middle School and Chippewa Middle School.
And then the other 3 schools up on, again, that northeast end of Des Plaines, actually east end, is Gemini Middle School. And then farther way north would be the River Trails Middle School. And then again, using that Mount Prospect Road, which is going to come into play many times, west of Mount Prospect Road, those children would attend Friendship Middle School.
So lots of options to keep an eye on if you're going to live in Des Plaines and where your children may go to school.
Now, here comes the fun part.
Elementary
schools, grammar schools.
Well, how many are there?
There are 11 choices.
11 different choices.
Yes.
There's 4 different school districts as far as the elementary school goes. We have District 62, District 59, District 26, and District 63, all feed into different areas of Des Plaines.
So one way to look at it, when you finish the elementary school experience, most families in Des Plaines are going to have the choice of middle schools of either Algonquin or Chippewa. And then once those 3 years are done with 6, 7, 8, the majority of those students are going to head to Maine West. So little story of how when our kids were young, how we kind of qualified all this. When we were in elementary school, everybody has play dates, everybody plays with friends. That's great. You get to know that group of children and their families. Once you move up to middle school, then if someone wanted to hang out after school, my first question was, where'd they go to elementary school? Just kind of wanted to figure out what group they were coming from.
What neighborhood.
Not making one better than the other, just what neighborhood they came from. And then when we got to the high school level, that same question happened, but it was where they go to middle school. So eventually, most everybody ends up at Maine West.
The vast majority.
Vast majority of them, yes.
And then we also have one school that goes from K through 8th grade.
That's right. Iroquois Community School used to be a middle school and then was converted to what we call a year-round school, which does not give that extended summer break from May through August. They break up their school year a little bit differently so that there's less of a gap. They will start school in July and then have some extended intersessions in the fall. Regular breaks pretty much match up with the rest of the elementary school district for Thanksgiving and Christmas, and then an extended break again in the spring.
So it's the same number of school days, but the break, instead of the big break during the summer, is spaced around the year. Some people just love that. Again, it's an outstanding school, but just a little different setup. Now that is not go by the neighborhood you live in. There's actually, to start there's a lottery system.
Yes, so if you are interested in that school calendar option, I would suggest that you reach out to that school directly or the district to find out more information on when you can sign up for that lottery and see if you can get on the list to attend that school. And the last one that we have is probably one of the newest constructed facilities in Des Plaines.
It's the Early Learning Center, which is actually attached to Forest School, which is kind of right in the middle of Des Plaines. Yeah. It's award-winning. It handles the pre-elementary school. We know parents that have put their children through it, and they just rave about it.
Yes, and it is a lot of indoor learning facilities plus outdoor learning, enclosed play areas, so that it doesn't have to send the little ones outside in the winter. And I would assume that any of our schools, especially the elementary schools, if you were interested, contact the schools and they may be able to set up a tour for you as well, so that you can talk about what your child needs specifically and see if that school can accommodate.
And that's for only District 62.
Yes.
Citizens.
Yes, exactly.
And then we started talking about preschools.
Yes.
We mentioned the Early Learning Center. Just off the top of our head, we were looking at preschools and daycare centers and what have you. And we stopped counting around 10 or 11 because there are so many opportunities for those. And depending on which neighborhood you're in, if you want to have one close.
Yeah. So if you're interested in moving to Des Plaines and would like some more information about the schools, we are Joe and Jean Morella with the Spouses Selling Houses team at Keller Williams Realty Partners. Our two sons did complete their full education in District 62 and 207, plus utilize some of the preschools as well. I can't say that we are experts, but we have had some experience in this, and we'd be happy to chat with you about it. And if we can't answer your questions, we would be more than happy to try to put you in contact with those education professionals that might be able to help guide you a little bit more. So our contact information is below. If you would like to reach out to us, we would be happy to set up a time where we can talk.
Thanks again.